They were pushing all the way. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Okay, guys. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I have got to get some kind of sleep today. Otherwise, I'm not going to be any good tonight. That is, but I'm getting better at the carrier. That's my favorite way to play. If the main thing you got to understand with the carrier is maneuvering. The instinct is is the group should protect you, but it's your job to stick with the group because the group is trying to make it's on full aggression, and so you got to kind of stick with them and support them, and let them choose the targets for you, kinda. Now, if something starts ingressing on you, like what happened in that last game, then you're gonna have to start calling, "Hey, y'all, shoot this," but they're in a position to actually help you. Too many times I done seen players when I watch the stream, they'll pull their carrier in a corner, then start screaming for help when somebody comes after them. And it's like, if they waiting for me to stick in that corner, it ain't gonna happen. Good night, man. Hit that follow button so you know when I come on again. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you get you some rest also. But I am getting ready to get some shut-eye. I appreciate everybody coming out and watching. Thank you so much. Chops, I appreciate you, man. We'll be back at this later today. I've got, like I said, I got to get some shut-eye. We've got a couple of errands to run, but we'll try and get on here before it's time to go to work. But if not, y'all know the time. Midnight, we will be back in this. Midnight, 1 o'clock, we'll be back in this and starting. Just depends on when I get off from work. Thank you, Fox. Jim, thank you. No worries. And like I said, we try and be on here as much as I can. If I miss a day or something, I will do my damnedest to try and get on here and at least post it on the little chat thing. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. thank you for the tip. And like I said, if I don't make it, don't hold it against me. It's just life came and crept up on me. I'm an old man. I gotta get my rest. Otherwise, y'all will come in here and I'll be asleep on the stream again. And that has happened a couple of times. But y'all, hey, it's getting warm out, guys. Be safe out there. People are driving like fools. Be careful. And when the heat comes, silliness is afoot. So it's like more people are roaming around and stuff. So be aware of your situations and stuff. Get back at me safe. Till the good Lord waves us in. Semper Fi. You take care of yourselves, and I'll be back a little bit later today. Y'all have some fun out there. Download this game. It's World of Warships. And while you're at it, download World of Tanks, World of Warplanes. They're free to play. It's from a great company. It's solid. It's been solid for the last few years. And you're going to have a great time. I don't think that you're older than me. I am 47 years old. I am an old man. I am, and I guarantee you I got older man problems. My wife and 2 kids make sure I have older man problems. Oh, you're retired, man? Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. I was supposed to be retired, but my wife came in. One quick story before we go. Okay. About 3 years ago, we were sitting there. I was home. Now, you got to understand, I was already on disability, retired. Doc said I was done. Me and my dad are sitting there looking at TV, and I guess my wife had a bad day at the daycare that she was working with. And it's like we had just taken a young lady in, and she's sitting there chilling on the couch watching TV. I went and bought her a new couch so she can lay on so she didn't have to sit on the old one. And my wife was a little bit indignant about the whole thing. a little bit. So I'm sitting at home and my dad is sitting there. We're all sitting there watching TV and Becky comes in, throws her coat down, and she goes, I'm done. I quit. I'm not going back to work. And I go, well, if nobody's working at the house, we can't do it on my pension and stuff. And she goes, well, I ain't going back to work. I'm going to bed. And went down and laid down. I looked at my dad. My dad looked at me. And he looked at, and I'm waiting for some piece of wisdom to come out of his mouth. Thank you for your service, my friend. Thank you for your service. I'm waiting for some piece of wisdom to come out of my dad's mouth. And he looked at me and goes, retirement over. Get back to work. And I'm like, I'm disabled. That's over now. That was it. That was it. Next day, I tried to go to work. I tried to get up and see, okay, we're going to see what kind of jobs we can do. We got a job at a grocery store. That lasted 2.5 hours before I hit the ground and like, oh, this is not going to work. They had me lifting crates and boxes and anything else they could throw up on the thing. I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to die. And then my girls was like, Dad, they were going to college and they were about to graduate. And I'm sitting there like, oh, my God. Okay. I went to my dad. I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, Dad, what am I going to do? And he's like, soldier up. That was literally his advice. Soldier up. So we went to I told Becky, listen, you got to go back one more day and then I'll support anything you do. She went back. I went to the gym for a week to just build my endurance. No kind of weight training, just endurance training. And it's like it took about a week and a half to get my endurance up, where I would get up, start the little treadmill thing in the morning, afternoon, and I'm sitting there, and then I got indignant about the whole thing. It's like if my dad had to tackle me. My dad was like, don't you go in there and cuss that woman out, because I was on my way to cuss her out. And because I'm getting up in the morning to go run. After I eat I did my breakfast, then in the afternoon I'll go walk around the block, and then I'll sit there, and in the evening time before I lay down, I'd go do a walk again, just so I can get my endurance built up, because we walk 3 times a day in the Corps. So I figured we'd start doing it today, and we had to do small increments and work our way up. About a week into this, I was indignant. I was pissed. I went in there. My dad seen me. He's like, don't you go in there. I know what you're doing. I know what you're getting ready to do. You stop it. I'm sitting there like, oh, she getting ready to get that. He's like, no, she's not. You better go. You know what I know? You better carry your ass to work. So we carried our ass to work, and we've been working ever since. But, no. Before I go into another old man tangent, though, Jim, it was a pleasure to meet you. Again, thank you for your service and stuff. But I'm going to get some sleep. But that's the story of how I got back to work, and I haven't been able to stop working since. But what will happen if I don't get my ass into bed is, because everybody knows how my health goes Willy Wonka on everybody, is you'll see a little white woman come in here, grab me by the neck, drag me off kicking and screaming, camera falling to the side, look like one of those horror movies. Yeah, it is. We're in an interesting time. One last thing. I just came across my email, and I need to say this. I don't break into political speak or anything too often, but just bear with me here. Our country is strong, and it is strong by design. For y'all that are out there that are worried and stuff, and it's like I said, I'm only addressing this because it came through my email. For those of you that are out there worried, we have been through silliness before. We have been through Jimmy Carter. We have been through Bill Clinton. We have been through Nixon. And we have been through the Kennedys, okay? It ain't like our country is a stranger to silliness in the White House, and this is no different. When you get when you're first going through it, you're like, oh my God, the government is falling apart. It is not. They were fighting when they signed this thing. When they signed the little Declaration of Independence, they was not like that picture that they hang on the wall where everybody was dignified, signing and smiling and shaking hands. That's not how that happened. That is bullshit. They were fighting and calling each other out for duels, and it was a mess. It's always been a mess. It's a mess by design. It's how we get the recipe right. And we will get through this too. Trust me. It has happened before. It will happen again. But ever so often, we have to have a silly president to make us realize how good the really good presidents are. And right now, our president that we have now hasn't exactly done anything. And trust me, I'm a Democrat. But he hasn't. He's done talked a bunch of silliness, but he hasn't done anything completely wacky. He's not like chasing Marilyn Monroe around in the back seats or anything. He's not trying to drag race. Imagine if Biden was sitting there, our president right now. Biden would be trying to drag race a Corvette around the thing, looking cool in mirrored sunglasses. Do you really think that's a good thing? It's always going to be something. No, Reagan, they hail him as the great president and speaker and communicator. They tried to impeach his ass, and he just got up and walked out and said, fuck it. So we're going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. Our country is strong, and it's not strong by luck. It's strong by design. We go through this. You got to remember that these are ordinary people, and whether you are on one side or the other, like I tell my daughters, both sides really do love this country. They just have a really fucked up way sometime of showing it. But I wanted to address that because that was like, I get these emails and they start trending, and I kind of like gotta address them. So that's all I wanted to say on that. And you trade one government for, like I said, I didn't got old enough to realize you trade one. It's like, I watched kids. I sat there and watched my kids on the playground, and they had a bully, and there's a little bit of politics that go on the playground, and so they had a bully, and so they all kind of came together to deal with this bully. But when the bully was eliminated, the bully had a job too. He kept things regulated and stuff. He kept the cool kids in the cool kids section and the geeky kids in the geeky kids section, and bullies have their point too. Well, the kids got together, they were tired of the bully, so they got rid of the bully. And so I sat there and we're watching this, and we watch this stuff play out over the year, and me and my friends just kind of chuckle and laugh, and it's like, well, let's see how this is going to play out with no bully anymore. All of a sudden, there was a power void, and then the group started mixing, and they didn't like that. So then they said, well, somebody's got to have to keep this stuff on the thing. And they actually elected somebody to represent, to keep people in their particular groups. And I'm like, this is better. It's not. We're either going to do it one way, or it's going to be like The Walking Dead and we have Negan with the baseball bat running around. And if I remember straight, we had one president that said, walk silently but carry a big stick or something to that. So it's just one of those things. We're all just trying to scrape by. I don't remember signing up to send a Chevy-sized robot up to Mars to get stuck on a piece of dirt. But that's what it is. But all I care about is my milk being $2.49 a gallon, my gas being $3.15. And the kids staying off my damn lawn. I'm tired of them tracking up the stuff. But guys, but it's always interesting to watch. And about the only thing I will say about this, there has been one thing good that has come out of this. There's been one thing good that has come out of this. Trump has managed to get an entire population of youth interested in government. And that's amazing. That is amazing. Everybody is learning how our government works together. They was like, how do we hit the brakes Somebody get the manual. Suddenly they want to know about equal branches of government and who can put the who do we look to? It's like, and when you start hearing young people talking like that, it's like, well, that's actually a good thing. They're paying attention. We finally managed to find something to get the young ones to look up from their phones. You go, so much winning. If he does nothing but get our youth to do something other than look at their phones, that is a win. So much winning. But guys, I'm going to get out of here because I hear rumbling in the back. And you see me giving these nervous glances because it will happen. One time she was standing behind me like the curse and shit. It was like you see that movie The Grudge where the guy's sitting there looking on his computer, but in the background she was standing back. I'm like, she's standing right behind me. But guys, I'll be back on here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a great day today. Keep your hearts up. Take care of yourselves, all right? Get back at me.